Merry Kitschmas! Well, folks, it's now the 11th day of the 12 days of Kitschmas. Where has the time gone? If you've stuck with me so far, thank you. I hope that I have talked about some of your favorite vintage Christmas decorations and injected a little bit of nostalgia in your holiday season. If you're new here, hi, I'm Victoria, and we are Super Geeked, where we celebrate all the things that we get super geeked about. Each day, I'm talking about a popular vintage Christmas decoration and sharing with you pieces from my personal collection. So if you love Kitschmas as much as I do, then stick around for the 11th day of the 12 days of Kitschmas. Today we are talking about a favorite collectible decoration that started as a topper for cakes. They are snow babies. A snow baby is a small figurine, usually a child, that depicts some aspect of the Christmas holidays and shows a child dressed in a snowsuit. The suit itself is covered in snow. The traditional snow baby is made of unglazed biscuit porcelain, or bisque, and small pieces of crushed porcelain that are coated with a slip containing grog to imitate the texture of snow, which is then fired and painted. The oldest snow babies were manufactured in Germany in the 1890s, where we've seen many of our vintage Christmas decorations originated. Snow babies were created as reusable cake toppers by Johann Moll, a German confectioner based on early 19th century sugar dolls. They were originally manufactured by Hertwig and Company, but other porcelain factories in Germany began creating their own figurines soon after. There's an old legend of the snow babies. It is said that their release coincided with the birth of Admiral Robert Peary's daughter in Greenland while he was on an expedition to the North Pole in 1893. She was the first non-indigenous baby to be born that far north, 13 degrees south of the pole, earning her the nickname Snow Baby from the Inuit of the region. The public's fascination with the baby, named Marie, and the discovery of the North Pole in 1909 helped popularize the figurines. Snow babies were originally only sold in Germany, but in the 1900s, German manufacturers began exporting them to England and the United States. Between 1900 and 1930, snow babies grew in popularity in England, where they were used as cake decorations, and in the United States, where they were featured in women's magazines for use as Christmas decorations. In a Marshall Fields catalog dated to 1914, snow babies were called Alaska Tots. Those adorable 1 3/4 inch figures sold for 90 cents a dozen back then. They often bring $50 to $100, depending on their pose. Collectors have noted that they're getting harder and harder to find. Production of the figurines in Germany halted at the beginning of World War I so that factories could contribute to the war efforts, and resumed once the war was over. In the 1920s, Japanese manufacturers began producing reproductions of the snow babies. Although the Japanese figurines had less details than the German snow babies, they were able to grow a market because of the post-war anti-German sentiment. Another contributor to their revival was when another adventurer, Richard E. Byrd, flew over the South Pole in the late 1920s. The excitement of the news spread far and wide, and we saw a resurgence of the interest in snow baby collectibles. German manufacturing of snow babies stopped again at the start of World War II, and American demand for the product dropped. For a short time after World War II was over, snow babies were manufactured in the United States and England. However, the figurines were low quality and the run was not very successful. Snow babies had a resurgence in popularity in 1987 when the American company, Department 56, began to manufacture replicas of the original Snow Baby designs. Before World War I, Snow Babies ranged from 5 to 7 inches and depicted children participating in winter activities like skiing, ice skating, and sledding. The figurines had highly detailed faces, and the paint was fired onto the porcelain so that the color would be longer lasting. Figurines were made of different pastel colors of grout, and some of them were left all white except for the face painting. Porcelain Snow Baby dolls and jointed figurines were also manufactured, as were Snow Babies attached as decoration on planters, boxes, and candles. When Snow Baby production resumed after World War I, the figurines were made smaller, usually ranging from 1 to 3 inches tall. Although the new paint used came in vibrant primary colors, Snow Babies had less facial detail than previous models. The paint was also less durable and prone to flaking off. Models in more varied poses were made, including children singing Christmas carols, riding polar bears, and building snowmen. New characters were also designed and included Santa Claus, elves, penguins, and dogs. You may have seen reproductions of Snow Babies in department stores and gift shops, but the older the Snow Baby, the more desirable. Lots of collectors love them. Yet the story behind the real Snow Baby, Marie, and the story of how the collectibles came to be more than 100 years ago is often not retold today. The oldest and most desirable Snow Babies, from a collector standpoint, were made in Germany with great care and thoughtful detailing. They were also made in limited quantities. The faces on these pieces generally have a more realistic look to them when compared to those made later in Japan and other points of origin. Older Snow Babies featuring blue snow can also be very desirable, but very hard to find. While many purists seek only older Snow Baby figurines for collections, still others like the sweet features and adorable poses, so they don't mind opting for new collectibles, such as those produced by Department 56 and other modern manufacturers. I actually only own one Snow Baby in my collection. This Snow Baby was actually given to me by an antique dealer. I had purchased some items from her antique store, and she had several of these 1950s Snow Babies. I believe these were probably Japanese Snow Babies. You can tell they do have more vibrant colors, but the painting detail is not as perfect. You can see it sort of on the white part. That wouldn't have happened in the old German figurines that were very carefully painted and detailed. Mine is not chipping. It's in great condition, and it does not have a Japanese sticker on the bottom, but I imagine that it probably was one of the Japanese or even American-made versions from around the 1950s. But this is my little Snow Baby. Well, guys, that was day 11 of the 12 days of Kitschmas. I hope you enjoyed this video about Snow Babies and learning the history of these little collectibles. Because we're on day 11, that means tomorrow is the 12th and final day of the 12 days of Kitschmas, where I will be sharing with you a culmination of all of my vintage collectibles, both the ones that you saw in the series, but also other items, personal Christmas decorations, or that have been heirlooms in my family all the way from my great-grandmother. I'm very excited to share with you all of my decorations tomorrow. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, I hope that you'll consider subscribing. I have a lot of great content planned, along with my teammates here at Super Geeked, Rachel and Oliver. We look forward to the new year and sharing with you new, fun content on this channel. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas Eve, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!